SDG Zone at Tokyo. My name is Miki Matheson, Project Manager of the Nippon Foundation Paralympic Support Center. As a Paralympian, I have experienced and witnessed that sport has the power to change the world. Sports have the power to promote diversity and inclusion, which is essential in achieving the SDGs. In this session, we would like to discuss the power of sport and the possibilities from athlete point of view. Our guests today are Ms. Kaede Maegawa, track and field athlete from Japan, and Mr. George Wyndham, table tennis players from Sierra Leone. I'm very excited to speak with you both. So first of all, I would like to ask you some personal stories first. So I would like to go with Kaede-san first. Please tell me about yourself and how you discover parasports.
はい、私は交通事故で右足を切断したんですけど、中学3年生の時に愛犬の散歩をしている途中に車と壁に挟まれる事故に遭って、そしてもうその3日後に足を切断しました。そして当時日本記録を持っていた大西瞳選手という方がまだ義足をつけてない私のところに会いに来てくれて、そして陸上をやろうと誘ってくれました。そしてその方のおかげで陸上と出会って、そして高校2年生の時に初めてパラ陸上の大会に出場しました。そしてそこでは私最下位だったんですけど、もう自分にとってはそんなことどうでもよくって、こう久しぶりに風を吹いた感覚であったり、そういうのがすごく楽しくって、でもうどんどん陸上の世界にのめり込んでいきました。そして私は陸上だけじゃなくてファッションとか、あとは義足を見せて生きることっていうのがすごく大好きで、今はそこに力も入れて日々生活しています。今日はよろしくお願いします。
Wow, thank you very much. I guess you lost your leg at really early age, but you met a really nice peer at the early stage. And then not only about the on the field of court, you have a lot of things going on at off the field of court. So I'm excited to ask you more questions later. Thank you. So now I guess I will move to George. George, please tell me about yourself and how you got involved in para table tennis.
I caught polio at the age of 5, and despite catching polio, my parents pushed me to go to school, and I went to school, a kindergarten school, where I became more interested in sports. But by then I didn't know there was a Paralympic sport. So I was just doing sports, encouraged by friends, teachers, and family. And whenever there is any activities in my school, I always like to take part as a disabled. And until one day, when I was something like 15, 16 years old, I became in contact with the arena of the National Stadium here in Sierra Leone, and where I saw people doing table tennis. So the coach asked me to join, but I refused because I thought as a disabled I couldn't play table tennis at all. So he encourages me to play, and which I later accepted, and I started training table tennis at the age of 16, and now here I am as a Paralympian.
Wow, thank you very much for sharing your story. I guess your story is a little bit different from Kaede-san, but so you didn't even know about any para sports, and then at the beginning you reject your offer from the coach. But I'm so glad you have finally accepted it, and then look at you, here you are. So I'll ask you more later. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. So I guess we would like to discuss, the Paralympians like Kaede-san and George, you are known as good at turning impossible into I'm possible. So I'm Possible is the name of an official Paralympic education program, which aims to challenge and change the perception of how young people perceive people with disabilities. We have been cultivating an inclusive mindset through education of inclusion and Paralympic value of young citizens. I would like to hear your little more stories on how you turned impossible into I'm possible in the past. So now I guess I will start from George this time. So you are advocating for the rights of the person with disabilities. So could you tell us why you think we should turn impossible into I'm possible?
Well, first of all, as a disabled living in Africa, and 90% of parents giving birth to persons with disability in Africa, the best career they can give them is street begging. You understand? So in Africa, as a disabled, the only way society can recognize you or appreciate you is when you do something extraordinary. You understand? Like, for example, I am a sportsman, a great sportsman in my country, so everybody knows me. And if I was not doing sports, I was in the streets begging, nobody should have known me. And one thing that I know is that there's ability in disability. You understand? It doesn't mean because you give birth to a child who is disabled, you should send him or her to the streets to beg. Or it doesn't mean being disabled, that's the end of life. You understand? We have the same rights as the able body. You understand? I believe that we can impact society. We can do great things for our community and the country as a whole. So, I mean, we don't need marginalization. We don't need discrimination. All we need is inclusiveness. If we give us the opportunity, we can do better and we can change lives. We can change society. We can change our country as a whole. You understand? So, like, I mean, changing the impossible to possibility starts from every parent that give birth to persons with disability, and the society and community we are in will find ourselves. You understand? I mean, inclusiveness, inclusion. I mean, when you're living in a society, for example, where there's a person with disability, you don't need to push him or her out. You understand? I mean, you need to encourage him or her. You need to include him or her in every activity in that community so that he or she can show their talent. You understand what they're capable of doing. If you give us the chance as persons with disability, we can explore very well.
Street begging and para sports are totally different like sites. So like I'm trying to imagine like how the life will be changing. Wow. So, and the one thing you said, it struck me in my heart was like ability is in disability, right? So,
yeah.
And also you said it's not the end of the world if you acquire a disability. So like I fully echo with your comments. So I love the fact that you are empowering your peers, like while you are changing somebody's mindset towards people with disabilities. And then like, yes, we have to change every parent who have people with this, children with disabilities. Mindset should be changed. Yeah, so like we are, in our Paralympic education program, we are focusing on the children and also the surrounding adults mindset shift. So like, I guess we are on the right same page. Yeah, thank you so much. And I would like more people with or without disability to gain self-confidence, like independence and sense of belongings and hopes and dreams through the para sports. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
So now, Kaede-san, you have been showcasing your abilities and possibility off and off the field of play, I should say. So you are known for the prosthetic fashion models, which I found very bold and empowering, especially coming from the conservative cultural background. Where does the courage to jump into something new attitude coming from?
そうですね。私はこう義足を見せて生きることであったり、こうファッションの一部として義足を楽しむということにこう勇気を出したっていう感覚はあんまりなくて、こう自分が好きだからやってるっていうことがやっぱ一番強くて、こう今も髪色がちょっとターコイズブルーなんですけどとかこうピアスが好きだったりとか、あとは服が大好きだったり、そういうのって一緒でこう義足をいろんな柄のものに変えたりとか、あとはこう結構変わった模様の義足にしたりとかっていうのもこうファッションの一部とかと一緒のイメージで、なのでこう自分が勇気を出したっていうよりは好きなことをやってたら、そのファッションショーであったり一緒にやってくれる人もたくさんいて、でその人たちと一緒にこう義足はかっこいいっていうことをこうなんですかね、広めていける場を設けてくださってて、でそこがすごくなんですかね、自分が自分を出せる場だなと思ったので、やりたいなって思いました。
Wow, that's interesting. So like you didn't think it's a courage to take step forward, just you follow what you love and what you like to do. So that's an interesting point to take. Oh, thank you. And so the prosthetic as a part of fashion is a really cool perception for me as well. So I would like you to show more and more and then go out and then be a role model for all the girls out there. Well, it's not just girls, lots of, especially children who has prosthetics. So thank you very, very much for being such a great role model for many people. I have another question for Kaede-san. Do you happen to remember the first day you wore the prosthetics, and how was the people's reaction around you, or like anything related to the prosthetics and people around you? If you can share any memories, that'd be great.
初めて義足を見たときに、義肢装具士さんが義足のこう周りにスポンジで人間の足に見えるようなこうカバーをつけてくれてて、肌色のでソケットって呼ばれるその足を装着する部分も肌色で作ってくださってて、でそれを見た時に私の母はもうこれ周りから見たら全然足がないことがわからんやんって言ってくれたんですけど、私は足を切った時にネットで義足の写真とかをたくさん調べてたんですね。で、そこですごくこうメカメカした義足を見て、これ自分がつけてこれから生活するんだって思ってたので、その自分が思い描いてた義足と実際に見た義足が全然違うくって、そこでってすごく思って、でお母さんに私この周りのスポンジいらんし、このソケットの部分も好きな柄をつけたいって言ったら、お母さんはすごいびっくりしてて、そんなことしたら義足って周りの人にバレちゃうやんみたいな感じだったんですけど、私は逆にどんどん義足ってかっこいいってことをみんなに知ってほしいから、やっぱりスポンジを剥ぐって言って義肢装具士さんにお願いしてスポンジを取ってもらいました。でお母さんは最初はもう私がそうやって義足を見せて生活してることにすごく心配してて、それはこう周りの人が私に対して嫌なことを言ってきたりとかっていうことに対して多分すごく心配してたんだと思うんですけど、実際義足を見せてきたからといってそんなことを言ってくる人はほとんどいないですし、もし言ってきたとしてもこう自分はなんかその傷ついたりは全然しないので大丈夫だよっていうことを話して、今はすごくその私の見せるっていう生き方に、応援してくれてると思います。で、そうですね、初めて学校に行くようになった時は、私はその時は義足はつけてなくて、交通事故の影響で右足が結構良くない状況だったので、義足をつけるのに1年ぐらいかかりました。 で、その間はずっと松葉杖で片足で学校に通ってたんですけど、その時に、私が、みんなは私のために全部私ができることまで全部やってくれて、例えば階段を上る時にカバンを持ってくれたりとか、あとは掃除の時間とかに私の掃除することは全部周りの友達がやってくれたりとかっていう風に全部やってくれて、すごくありがたいですし、実際助かってた部分もたくさんあるんですけど、なんか自分って何にもできやんのかなってすごいその時に思って、どんどん自分ができることを奪われていくような感覚があったので、これはなんか良くないし、自分も誰かに必要とされたいし、誰かの役に立ちたいと思ったので、先生とか、あとは友達にできることは全部やらせてほしいし、できやんかった時だけ助けてほしいっていう風に伝えて、そこから自分ができるっていうことがどんどん増えて、誰かの役に立ってるなとか、自分でできることは自分でできるようになったっていうことがすごく嬉しかったです。
Thank you very much for sharing your story. Like I can totally picture how you went through every step of it. And but many prosthetic users, they are shy to show off their leg from the beginning. So like you are really oddball, I should say. But so like your mother was probably average attitude, but your positive energy has changed everybody surrounding you. So attitude and like perception towards the prosthetic legs, which is awesome. And I remember, like, I also acquired my disability when I was in university. Well, and then like my friends has changed. They wanted to do everything. They kind of pity me sometime, and then yeah, like I don't say no to help because it was helpful, as you said, but I felt my dignity was taken away. And I wanted to do what I want to do by myself. So like you were so strong and then explain your feeling directly to the people. So like that was the success. And like, but not too many people with disability can express their own view like that. So that was really, really strong, powerful message I should take back. So thank you. Going through adversity and facing through circumstances are not new to the Paralympians. Yet the coronavirus pandemic has brought us to a different level. George, I will ask you this. During the pandemic, you lost the opportunity to practice sports. How did you cope with the situation? Can you tell me about a little bit? Yeah, please.
It's really not easy up till now. I mean, facing the COVID-19 pandemic in the world. And before the COVID-19 came to light, I was preparing for competitions. I was preparing for Paralympic qualifications. But when COVID-19 break out, I mean, everything stopped. Everything gets stuck. You understand? Here in my country, the only source of income I have is my sports. You understand? Doing sports or playing sports. When the COVID-19 outbreak came, everything gets stuck. It's not easy. No training, no activities, no traveling, and it affected me a lot. Like, for example, as I'm talking to you, I was unable to participate in the Paralympic qualifications, which made me not to even qualify for the next coming Paralympic Games. But in as much that COVID-19 is affecting me personally as an athlete, I didn't stop. I didn't give up. What came into my mind, what should I do to help my beloved country in fighting COVID-19? So I had an announcement from the NACOVAC here in Sierra Leone, that they need people to sensitize. You understand? As a public figure, my role I should play is to go out there and talk to people. So I applied for that job, and they gave me, which, I mean, I was out there in the streets talking to people about COVID-19, sensitizing people about the use of face masks, about the use of hand sanitizers, what to do and what not to do during the COVID-19. You understand? Which was very good, and I was really pleased and proud of being part of that. I mean, helping my country to salvage the situation of COVID-19. But as an athlete, COVID-19 has really affected me, and it's still affecting me. It's not really easy.
Wow, thank you very much for sharing your story. So you are facing a really, really difficult situation, yet you are motivated to help your community and countries. So I'm really, really thankful for your effort and attitude. Probably like you saved so many people from coronavirus. So thank you so much. So I have another question for George. You show our all 4 Paralympic values like courage, determination, equality, and inspiration. So what is your next goal?
Well, my next goal is to see an inclusive society. You understand? An inclusive society where nobody should be left behind. You understand? Whether being able or disabled, we all should move together. Having an inclusive society, I think, will help change the world at large. So that's my next goal. And for persons with disability, what I want to see is perseverance. You understand? I mean, step forward, do what you like, and never give up in life. Let your disability don't be a barrier for you. And all I want to see is an inclusive society for all.
Wow. Thank you. That was powerful message. Yeah, like we are all trying to create more inclusive society where we leave no one behind. But like the message, like you said, like do what you love to do, and don't let the disability be a barrier for that. Like that's a really, really strong message, because lots of people with disability easily to say an excuse like, well, I can't not do it, but it's not for me, I'm disabled. But like, what would you say to those people who are easily to give up on, or come up so many excuses?
What I would say to them, I mean, as I always say, there is ability in disability. Use your disability to do something. With your disability, you can be a role model. With your disability, you can help change your community and your country as a whole. I mean, being disabled is not the end of the world. You understand? Being disabled is an additional advantage for you to do something in life. So don't give up. Don't sit behind because of your disability. I mean, get up, be strong, be persevere, and if you believe that you can do it, trust me, you will do it.
Yeah, take advantage of disability is a new look, right? So that's really, really good. And if you believe what you can do, then we can achieve a lot of things. And I would like more and more athletes like you too will inspire others to and develop more athletes like you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, we will not have much time left, so I guess this will be the last question for Kaede-san. So you are shining, and I think it is because you have been following your passion. So what is your advice to the viewers who feels intimidated to follow their own heart?
私も勇気が出せない時っていうのは結構たくさんあって、で こう好きなことを全部やってるように多分見えると思うんですけど、でもやっぱりこう勇気が出なくてできないっていうこともたくさんあるので、すごくこう皆さんの気持ちも分かります。で、こうさっき私は義足を見せて生きることが大好きだって言ったんですけど、でもこう義足を見せないで生きる生き方も私は正しいと思ってて、私はこう見せて生きることが好きだからやってるけど、もちろんそれをこう全員にやってとは言わないですし、人それぞれその大事にしてるものっていうのは違うと思うので、自分が大事だと思うことをずっとずっと大切にしていってほしいなと思いますし、こう何か自分がやりたくって勇気を出したい時っていうのは、その自分が一番大切にしてることっていうのをこう思い出して、でそれから考えてたくさんの人に相談して決めていったらいいかなと思います。私もこう全部自分の力だけで生きてこれたわけじゃないので、たくさんの方のおかげでこうして自由に楽しく生きているので、皆さんもそうやって助けてくれる方の力を借りて自分らしく生きていってほしいなと思います。
Thank you so much for your comment. Wow, so yeah, we cannot live alone and we have to help each other. And you know, like sometimes you have to inspire others, sometimes you receive inspiration from others. So like I took a lot from your comment and trying to digesting right now. But so throughout today's session, like thank you Kaede-san and George for sharing your stories and why it's important to focus on our possibilities, not only for ourselves, but for society, like for the people who are surrounding us. That was a really, really huge take for us. The society where anyone can pursue their best is exactly the society that SDGs is trying to create by 2030. So I trust that such society will have a more joy, inspiration, and opportunities. So like Kaede-san and George, let's continue to explore what we are possible. And thank you so much.